So the whole concept of being in touch with yourself, out of touch with yourself, is very near and dear to my heart because I was guided along this path by psychics. And back when I was in marketing, a psychic told me that in 2 years, I was going to be a professional psychic medium. And I told her she was smoking crack. I said, girl, do you know how much money I make? I have corporate clients. I worked really hard to get here. I've been in marketing for 21 years. Hell no. There's no way I'm compromising my reputation and having the entire world think I've gone crazy, take a huge pay cut, and walk away from this career that I've built. I have this empire. No way, dude. You're high. And for me at that point, I had like, a couple paranormal experiences where I had like channeled a deceased loved one and whatever. But for me, it was like an isolated event. It was like, okay, that was kind of funky. Let's move on. So to have a psychic tell me that it was actually what I was supposed to be doing professionally, those are two completely different things. It's like, it's one thing to channel like a deceased loved one and have like a paranormal experience. It's another thing for somebody to say, surprise, this is your life purpose. That's how out of touch you are with yourself. You had no idea. So that was a huge slap across the face for me to be told that and essentially not accept it and then later find out it was true. And so the whole concept of being out of touch with yourself and unaware, I got slapped pretty hard across the face with my life purpose. And look at how late in life I realized it. I'm 44 now, 36 years old. Really? Seriously? This is when I find out what my life purpose is this late? Give me a break. This whole situation is just annoying. How could this have happened? How could this have happened? How could I possibly be this out of touch with myself? So what I did was I started paying close attention to the past and little things. I started trying to read into the little things. What did I like to read? What did I like to watch? Like what were my hobbies? What were my interests? And I was like, well, I really did like haunted houses. I really do like zombies. I really do like scary movies. I really do like Not Scary Farm. I watch all the paranormal TV shows. There were some early signs. Like when I was in the corporate world, my coworker would pop into my cube and say, hey, let's go to Barnes & Noble and read about Libras. I'd be like, oh boy, okay. So we'd go grab lunch and then hit Barnes & Noble, and I'd be in the New Age section, reading about Libras, and he would read about Virgos, and it was fun. I'd get coffee, whatever. And it was fun. But even back then, like, look how I was studying, like, astrology and I never thought twice about it. Like, who cares? It's an interest, whatever. Curiosity. I didn't eat, sleep, and breathe by astrology back then. I didn't really know anything about it. I still don't. I'm not really that into astrology. But the tarot card readers are getting me more into astrology. It's very cool. So that's what I started doing, is I started playing Nancy Drew and putting pieces of the puzzle together and really just taking out a magnifying glass on my life and trying to pay closer attention, just waking up, trying to pay closer attention to myself instead of not seeing these things as signs or big deals. Because this is coming from within. This is coming from within my soul. What am I spending my time doing? Right? So, I start going through this Kundalini Awakening because it's not like learning calculus in a classroom. Learning about universal energies and the mysteries of the universe, there are physical symptoms associated with that, and that's Kundalini. So the physical symptoms you go through, headaches, etc., whatever. Physical sensations you experience from being enlightened, being aligned with truth. That's what you're learning. You're learning truth. So I went through the Kundalini Awakening and, I was like, oh crap, she's right. And then the other side guided me forward and I went pro, and, that's what I do now. And I love it. It is my life purpose. It is my heart. It is my heart-focused work. What's really funny is I majored in screenwriting because I have, this creative side to me. So screenwriting is definitely my heart. But I almost majored in psychology because I wanted to pursue being like a therapist or a psychologist. So I am amused that I became an intuitive counselor, because that was something that I remember being interested in early on, was the counseling aspect of helping people. And I've gone to counseling myself. I have seen therapists myself for codependence, severe case of codependence. And I remember listening to them thinking, oh, this is a cool career. You know, this is a cool career for you. That's awesome that you did this kind of thing, helping people. So, but they're just fleeting thoughts. It wasn't anything that I really put that much stock in until later, when you, like I said, take a closer look at yourself. And so the other side continued to guide me down my path, like I said, and they started really pushing me towards culinary arts, which made absolutely zero sense to me yet again. Okay, spirit guides coming through loud and clear, pursue culinary arts. And I'm like, no. I'm like, I don't know. Cooking for one person, it just doesn't make any sense to me. I'd rather just like run somewhere and just grab something really fast, or, you know, sit at the bar and talk to my bartender friend and have him serve me a salad or whatever. It's like, I wasn't interested in grocery shopping. I wasn't interested in doing dishes. I wasn't interested in meal preparation at all whatsoever my entire life. So when they started pushing me towards culinary arts, saying it was going to make me happy, I'm like, yet again, smoking dope. No, this doesn't make any sense. No, you guys are high. And then they started showing me things, because I was fighting them so hard on it, that they started showing me things. You know how you've read all of Anthony Bourdain's books? You know how you went to, you know, Bouchon just to like go to his restaurant because you were excited about the food. You know how you watch all the cooking shows. You know how you wanted to join West Side Foodies meetup group. Like, you know how eating is your favorite pastime. Like, you're into food. You're a foodie. And they're like, your motto is a calorie burned is a calorie earned. And I'm like, yeah, pretty much. The more you work out, the more you can eat. They're like, a calorie burned is a calorie earned. They're like, does none of this make sense to you? And I'm like, yeah, I like food. And they're like, okay, well, guess what? Part of your heart is preparing that food, loving, nurturing others. And so one of the challenges that they had was me preparing food for myself versus others. It feels better preparing it for myself and others as opposed to just myself. But anyway. So after doing some exploring with my spirit guides, we found out that what lied behind that was fear, intimidation, lack of confidence, and just being a withered prune. Just like, I can't do that. Energetic block, limited belief, negative attitude about my ability. I can't do that. Now, mind you, I've cooked dinners before. I've cooked several dinners before. I've cooked with boyfriends, etc. But, I know it's different when you do it with a partner, but I mean, I have people over for dinner. I do it, but we're talking about like really getting into it. And so as time went on, what they did was after I cooked dinner for people, they made me pay close attention to how I felt. And sure enough, I would get this rush. I would feel high from doing it. It feels very loving, nurturing, feminine. And they said, we want you taking cooking classes and pursuing recipes that are like at your level. You don't have to make Emerald's lasagna with bechamel sauce. Let's dial it down a little bit and get recipes that are manageable for you so you can start there. And that's what they did, okay? And it worked. It got the fish on the hook. It worked. I started taking cooking class after cooking class after cooking class after different places, different schools, and it worked. I really enjoyed it. It was fun. And as more and more time goes on, I am enjoying it. But I'm telling you, this took years. I'm talking about the span of years for this to make any sort of sense to me. That's how long they guide you for it. That's how long they grab onto your ankle. Your truth is your truth. So if they know something's going to make you happy and bring you spiritual fulfillment. Now, another thing you have to realize is this energy is a big deal because God provides this food, right? Fruits, vegetables, God is providing this fruit that you're preparing. So it's very, coming from the divine kind of thing, like maybe I'm preparing the food, but the divine is supplying it. So maybe it's kind of a channel. It's a channel like, hey, everybody, the divine, this is compliments of the divine. right? This is nutrition. This is meant to fortify your body. Your body is a temple. This is from the divine, right? So meal preparation is a little more spiritual to the other side than I was really giving it credit for. It's a big deal. So that was the whole culinary arts thing. The Reiki thing also took years. They had me take Reiki classes. I was like, I don't know about this. This is kind of, I don't know. Healing people with your hands, casting energy, healing people with the power of your will, power of your mind, thoughts. I'm like, I don't know about this energy healing thing. This sounds pretty fruity. Years. Took them years. Had me study under one Reiki master, get certified all the way to master, and then they had me study under another master and get certified again. Because it's my truth. And then when I started doing it professionally, they were like, if you don't start doing it professionally, you're going to get struck by lightning. That's really the way it was. That's when I started doing it. So I needed a big butt kicking there too. But again, Reiki made sense later. Personal power. Now, I got to be honest with you guys. For those of you that don't believe in Reiki and think it's just a bunch of bunk, I'm telling you, they do. They disagree with you wholeheartedly, full force. Full force. They believe in the power of Reiki. They're all in. They're all into it. They take it very seriously. When you like laugh at it and blow it off, they get mad. They're all about Reiki. With God, all things are possible. That's all I'm saying. They take it very seriously, so they didn't appreciate the fact that I was like, whatever, dude. That's pretty out there. So Reiki took years to get me on the hook. Didn't resonate with me in the beginning. They kept calling me a healer. I'm like, okay, I know I'm an intuitive counselor, but healer, okay. And it all made sense later. It all made sense later. And then recently, this started a while back. Moving to Hawaii is my highest good. I'll word it that way. Right now I live in Los Angeles. Moving to Hawaii is my highest good. So I sat there and I'm like, leaving my friends and family and moving to an island is my highest good. Sounds kind of flaky. Like, I don't know, I'm kind of a big city girl. I'm not sure about this. Is this really what I'm supposed to be doing? And so I went over there. I went over there on a trip to scope it out. And sure enough, I felt like I was home. And it was really weird. The trip was very strange, very surreal. Felt like I was home when I was there and not home when I was in LA. It was so odd. I've lived in LA my entire life. So to have that experience was like, wow, this really feels like it fits. Spiritual culture, considering what I do for a living, everything, people, everyone. It was an awesome trip. And I started paying closer attention yet again, where it's like, okay, I was obsessed with watching Gilligan's Island. I constantly went to Island's restaurant because I liked the ambiance. When the Manhattan Beach location got rid of their thatched roof around the bar, I got really mad. So they were ruining my ambiance. I've always liked the foo-foo fruity drinks with all the fruit sticking out of it. I always liked Tommy Bahama. I always liked movies that were filmed in Hawaii. I grew up boogie boarding. I have a soul connection to the ocean. My mom is very much an academic, so she's always like reading. And so she believed lifeguards made fantastic babysitters. So constantly like jumping me off at the pool. Oh, babysitter, lifeguard, bye. The beach, she would sit there and read, and I'd get like Maytagged in a wave and like wash up on shore, just like, like a beached whale. And she'd just be sitting there reading her book like, huh? What? Oh, whatever. You're having a good time, So I grew up, getting wiped out on my little boogie board. So when I took a surf lesson, I was like, ooh, this isn't so bad. I'm used to getting tumbled anyway. It fit. And so things started to make sense. Things will continue to make sense for me. But, what I'm trying to say is that I'm using my own life as an example of messages from your spirit guides not always resonating with you. And if you're meditating and you're connecting to your guides and what they're telling you isn't making any sense to you, just wait. Because chances are it will make sense later. If you get a reading from a psychic and it doesn't really resonate with you, just wait. Maybe it'll make sense later. You know, if they're doing a read on your life purpose and you're like, I don't see myself going that way, just stay open to it, because that could be a hidden talent that you've never discovered in yourself, that you've never unearthed. So don't just write that off and dismiss it. I don't want you to be so quick to dismiss it. I just want you to keep an open mind to it and keep it as a pot on your stove. That's all I'm asking, is just keep it as like a pot on the back burner. Like, all right, I'm gonna see about that. Because if something doesn't resonate with you, I want you to do what I did, where you pay closer attention to the little things in your life that are going on. And then I want you to pay close attention to how you feel when you dip your toe in the water. Suppose you take a class like dappling in that. I want you to pay really close attention to how you feel. That's what the other side did with me. How do you feel after a Reiki session? How do you feel after being in Hawaii? How do you feel after cooking a meal? How do you feel after doing a reading? Do you feel high? Do you get a rush? Do you feel spiritually fulfilled and happy and loving and in a calm, relaxed state? That's what I want you guys to do, is to if something doesn't resonate with you, dip your toe in the water, see how you feel, and then check back later. Okay? Now, another thing is, it's your angel's job to help you along this path. It's your angel's job to help this make sense and to help this resonate. And again, we're being guided forward with pieces of popcorn. So it's going to be very gradual. It's not going to be that jarring. Like, okay, let's just push you off the cliff. Maybe sometimes it is. Sometimes they have to like push me, but that's after they've like guided me forward for a while. So how can you get in touch with yourself? Journaling, meditation, just turning inward and being very self-reflective. And, you know, guys, as somebody who used to be codependent, I'm not anymore, but I used to be. As somebody who used to be codependent, I was so out of touch with myself in just all areas of life, not just these. And it's like, I didn't know what I was thinking and feeling about things because I was so focused over here and over there and on that person that I was just ignoring myself. I didn't know. And that's okay. You're not always going to know how you feel about things. You're not always going to know what your preferences are, needs are, etc. That's perfectly fine. But that's when you retreat, turn inward, go sit on the beach or sit in a park with your journal and just write. And maybe you'll be surprised at what comes out, because this is really honoring yourself, your inner child, and really being selfish. Moving to Hawaii is probably the most selfish thing I can do. Is it my highest good? Yes. Is it coming from my spirit guides? Yes. Is it my truth? Yes. It's probably the most selfish thing I can do, is just telling everybody, hey, everybody, I'm taking off. I'm taking my cat Toonses and we're leaving. He's over there, right? Bye-bye. Hawaiian kitty. Right? Gonna go check out all those wahinis. He's thrilled. And, hey, everybody, I'm leaving. I'm just ditching you. I'm going to Hawaii. It's the most selfish decision I could have ever made. And I think that's why it feels so amazing. I get really exhilarated when I think about it, because it's all about self-love. This decision is all about Christine. And they know it, and I know it. And that's probably why the energy behind it is like so good and so positive. So decisions based in self-love are always supported by universal energy. So I can feel the universe rising up to support me in doing this. It's very cool. People on my path and, just support. It's a really, really nice energy. I mean, I could be in the worst mood ever, and then I'll immediately start thinking about moving to Hawaii and just gone. Just immediately uplifted. Just gone. It has so much positive energy surrounding it. It's amazing. I know it's what I'm supposed to be doing. So this is a big deal. I can't tell you how many things had to grow on me. let me give you another example, which is kind of funny, because there's so many of them, but I don't want to bore you guys or make this video too long. My clothes. I went from the corporate world to making YouTube videos and being a psychic medium, right? Well, the other side is like, corporate world, marketing executive, those clothes aren't really your brand. So let's talk about that. We're going to have to revamp the old wardrobe here, girl, which they helped me do. They just replaced everything. the new clothes that I bought had to grow on me. I'm like, I don't know about this. And it was like a match that wouldn't light. They're like, will you wear your clothes? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I'm not sure. Like, I was intimidated by my own wardrobe. Doesn't that sound kind of lame? Anyway, I started wearing them and I got more comfortable, but I even had to get comfortable wearing the clothes that they had like switched out for me. Now I'm totally comfortable. I love them, but it's also been years. It's also been years later, so it's very odd. It's all very, very odd. So yeah, I don't want you guys to dismiss the messages you're getting from your spirit guides. I want you to give them a chance and just stay open and allow that truth to resonate. Allow that truth to make more sense later. Allow that truth to resonate with you. Because it really is about being carried to a higher level of existence, because the truth is the light. And when you align yourself with your truth, you're holding God's hand. So, I don't want you guys looking at my situation like, oh yeah, she's moving to Hawaii. Apparently she's going to go be happier over there. Not a tough thing to say. Hawaii's beautiful. It's an island. It's amazing. But it's my truth. It's my truth. Maybe somebody else's truth is Florida. Hey, your soul, your highest good, you'd be the happiest in Florida. That's their truth. You see what I mean? It's not just like, oh, go move to Hawaii. It's like, what is your soul's truth? So I'm aligned with my life purpose. I'm aligned with my place of residence. Toonces was definitely supposed to be my cat because the divine brought him onto my path years ago. I asked for him. Like, cooking is what I'm supposed to be doing to fortify my body and others, other people's bodies. It's like, what are you supposed to be doing with your time? Like, right down to those things. Like, what's your truths? Yeah. Even the small things like the clothes you wear. Is that authentic to who you are and how you want to express yourself and your brand? Your clothes are your truth. Your car is your truth. They brought my car onto my path. I was like, huh, what? What's this? This one's a lot bigger than my other one. This is harder to park. What, huh? And they're like, it's yours. You'll love it. And I do. I love it. Yeah. It just took a while to get here. But I guess what amuses me the most is like, if like a hardcore skeptic, was going to criticize psychics, they'd be like, oh, see, you're wrong. It didn't resonate. You're an idiot. You're a fraud. You're a dummy. Fake. Psychic abilities don't exist. Just shut up. Stop, being a charlatan. So they like would be really quick to write that off. Like, oh, you're wrong. You didn't get any hits. They like call them hits. Like we're trying to play like a video game or something. You didn't get any hits. Like maybe it didn't resonate with the person because they're out of touch with themselves. I was. And that's what I wanted to tell you guys. Look at how out of touch I was with myself. Okay? Look at how out of touch with myself. Do you understand that the way my spirit guides are guiding me forward is like, here, this will make you happy. Here, this will make you happy. Here, this will make you happy. And I'm like, it will? What? Huh? It will? I mean, I drink alcohol every day. And it's like, completely cutting alcohol out of your life will make you happy. It's like, yeah, right. Kiss off, dude. And it did. It did make me happy. Don't get me wrong. I think wine tasting is one of the most romantic things you can do with your partner. I miss that. But I took a sip of wine the other day and it actually tasted like gasoline to me. I was like, bleh. I imagined this like gasoline going through my liver and my kidneys. I'm like, ugh, my body's a temple. I don't want to do that to my body. Yuck. Tasted like gasoline to me, man. Lost the taste for it completely. Don't miss it. Took a while to get here, though. It's my truth. So, I guess another point that I want to make in this video is not necessarily like, just are you out of touch with yourself, but like give your truths a chance. Give your truths a chance to percolate. Give yourself a chance to digest these truths. Try those shoes on. walk around the block in those shoes before you put them back on the shelf. That's all I'm saying. Try those shoes on, walk in them, and be like, You know, it took like maybe a while for me to get used to these shoes, but now I actually really like them. They're comfy and stylish and they look good. I think I'm going to keep them. That's how the process works. So, yeah, I mean, we're all individuals. You know, someone else who's an amazing cook would probably be like, what's the big deal? What's her problem? Afraid of cooking? What's your problem? You're just lazy, you know? Like, I can see people judging me for that, but it's like, you know, I don't know what I'm doing in the kitchen. Yeah. It's deep-seated. Deep-seated. So just bringing all this stuff up to the surface. That's what journaling is for. Journaling is very important. I bring it up a lot in my videos. Don't be shy about journaling and just being alone. Alone time. I think that's why the other side sometimes comes forward and says, what's wrong with being single? Because nothing's better for self-reflection than being single, right? Because you're spending a little bit more time alone, focusing on yourself, right? So they don't expect us all to be a bunch of loners either, but a lot of times they'll view singlehood as an opportunity for personal growth and development. So, yeah. All right. Well, I hope I helped you guys. That was pretty much all I had to say. And, yeah, just be true to yourselves. You know, if something doesn't resonate, fine, but at least just try to give it a chance. I did, and I don't regret any of it. And in the meantime, take care and be well. Thank you. Hi, were you licking your